Story from Texas, where at Kermit Elementary School, officials called it a threat when a 9-year-old boy, Aiden Steward, in a playful act of make-believe, told a classmate that he could make him disappear with a ring forged in the fictional Middle Earth's Mount of Doom. It sounded unbelievable, said the boy's father. He insists his son didn't mean anything by it. The Stewards had just watched The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies a few days earlier. This inspired Aiden's imagination, and he went into school and told one of his classmates that with this ring from the Middle Earth world, he could make the guy disappear. He could make him invisible. And teachers said that this constituted a threat, and he has been suspended because he could make his classmate invisible, like Bilbo Baggins, who stole Gollum's precious ring, apparently. I don't really know much about the story, but this is what I've read about it. This is so insane, isn't it, Lewis?
I compare it to when we were that age, and we would just run around making shooting noises and pretending our hands are guns and threatening kids we didn't like, getting into fights, and like there were no repercussions really, apart from maybe just detention if you were a little too ruckus. And I don't think times have changed.
Certainly, yeah. And Principal Roxanne Greer was asked to comment about the fourth grader suspension. She declined to comment, citing confidentiality policies. The family moved to this school district 6 months ago, but this is actually the third time, I believe, that Aiden has been suspended. 2 of the disciplinary actions were in-school suspensions because he at one point referred to a classmate as black. And in another instance, he brought his favorite book to school, the Big Book of Knowledge. The class was studying the solar system, and he had the Big Book of Knowledge, which has stuff about planets. So Aiden brought the book in, thinking it would be illuminating for some students. But, Lewis, that children's encyclopedia has a section about pregnancy, and it depicted a pregnant woman in an illustration, not even a picture, an illustration. I think it should have been taken a step further. Suspension for a picture of a pregnant woman. Arrest the kid because he's clearly ruining the lives of all of the children in that classroom.
He might have destroyed the entire town with that one. Let's remember that this is Texas, of course. So perhaps in more liberal areas, this would not have been as big of a deal. But you never know. Like I said, times have changed.
This really reminds me of the Janet Jackson Nipplegate incident at the Super Bowl where, wow, all these kids' lives are ruined because Janet Jackson's breast popped out for 2 seconds. We need to legislate morality. We're small government conservatives, of course, but let's legislate morality, the words that can be said, whether bodies can be shown. Let's get hyper involved in the minutia of what is and isn't allowed on television. But we're small government conservatives. We don't really want government imposing on private business.
And God forbid a kid brings a book into school that has the word knowledge on it.
Yeah, that was scary. The first red flag for the teacher was that it was a book about so-called science. And then once they saw a drawing of a pregnant woman, the kid needed to be suspended before his destructive behavior would bring down all of his classmates.
Or take it one step further. Let's just send him to Mars so he can't harm humanity any more than he already has.
Let's take a break. We have your voicemail coming up and a really horrific story about Christian homeschoolers selling their daughter at a discount. The reason why the daughter was discounted will be very, very shocking.